up to the boys. Fox and Shane, set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny turn red. Can't let that go down in my head, war gaming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your tabletop podcast. I am Shane. I'm hanging out with Fox.
Howdy.
And, of course, we've got Churchy.
How you going, guys?
Today, we are kicking back in a new tavern, the Falcon's Arms.
Yeah, I just grabbed us a couple rounds from the old tavern wench.
Yep.
That was over there.
The wench.
Oh, wait, that's not the name for the person that serves the beers, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Today, we're going to talk about 5 leagues from the Borderlands.
Yeah, we are. Now, let's preface this. Let's not get you too excited.
No.
We have not played this game.
No.
We have not even read all of the rules.
Some of the rules.
But we have just been so excited.
Some. Yeah.
We'll clarify. Some. There have been a rule or two that we understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are just so excited to start getting into it.
Yeah.
You know, we've been talking about this and thinking about this for a little while, and it's just the timing is now right.
I think so. With the release of like 3rd edition, it's been out for a little while.
Yeah.
Ivan has released a couple of things.
Yes.
But we are looking at the core rulebook.
Yeah.
And
we just sort of want to get hyped for it.
Yeah.
And hopefully get you hyped for it. You might not, as a listener or a viewer, might not know anything about it, or you kind of understand that it's this game that's like 5 Parsecs but fantasy.
Yeah.
And that alone should get you hyped. But we'll talk.
How could it not?
Yeah. We'll probably talk about all the things that we are excited about for it, etc.
Yeah.
etc. So you touched on it briefly, but let's throw it in for the newbies.
Yep.
What is 5 leagues from the Borderlands?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Fox.
Good.
5 leagues from the Borderlands is fantasy 5 Parsecs from home. No. There's a lot more to
episode.
Cut. No, there's so much more to it than that. Ivan's expanded on heaps of stuff that Parsecs did well.
Yep.
And 5 leagues is going to do so much better.
So you said Ivan.
Ivan Sorensen.
The creator.
The creator, yeah.
And he has released the 3rd edition of this game in conjunction with a publisher called Modiphius.
Yeah, I think they've published it. Yeah. So he's written all the rules. He wrote the 1st and 2nd edition. Second edition I was this close to playing, and then it was like 3rd's coming out.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, do I learn 2nd edition? How much is going to change? So I sort of just flicked through the PDF and then waited for the 3rd, which admittedly has been out for a while, but we've had a bunch of stuff. I see you're adjusting your stool there.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah, it is better. I'm closer to the microphone.
Yes.
Which is always good for those people who like their ears to bleed.
Which is nobody.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Ivan, who also made all the 5X from X's.
Yep.
And a myriad of other games, which we've talked about at length on the episodes.
Yeah, Nordic Weasel he goes by, so check him out. He's got heaps of stuff. Like, not only 5X from Y, he's got Weasel Tech, which is like a battle tech kind of mechs.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know some of the guys in the Discord was pretty keen on. So, yeah.
How's the best way? I know he's got a Patreon, and I know that you can get a lot of the resources from there. So go support him. Go get your hands on a bunch of rule books.
You
play
can
a heap of the games.
All the rules from Drive Thru RPG.
Cool.
War Game Vault. I feel like they're exactly the same website with a different URL. I could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
But
that's happened once or twice. Yeah.
Many times.
So, for those who still... They're like, okay, so that's who made it. But what is it? I don't even know what Parsecs is. What is this? Yeah. So, you would say it's a solo, cooperative, low fantasy, adventure RPG, skirmish war game.
Yep.
It's all of those things.
All of those things and none of those things. No, exactly all of those things. That sums it up with as many adjectives as possible.
It's beautiful in that it was a big change of pace for me when I sort of became aware of first solo war games didn't interest me because I'm like playing against myself.
Yeah. And then lockdown happened and it was like,
I've got no choice.
Maybe I can play against myself.
Yeah. And I think the RPG element was the enticing part.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't
narrative that you're driving yourself. Like, you've got tables and stuff that you're rolling on for the AI.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still you controlling it, so you can game it as much as you want. But like,
Yeah.
you're driving this narrative, then sometimes you might. I found myself not deliberately making it harder, but like,
Yeah.
you know, it was like a better story if this happened.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, the AI might say to do or act like with the enemy this way, and you might be like, I think I know for me the best part or the best way this plays out is if the enemy in fact does this.
Do that instead.
And yes, that's probably going to kill me.
Yeah.
But that's what they would do.
Exactly.
You know?
That's right.
And I've noticed it on a lot of Facebook chats, Discord groups, whatever. Ivan seems to be pushing this. Hey, this is a big old guide.
Yeah.
If the game's too hard, tone it down yourself.
Yeah,
You
yep.
know, if it's too easy, tone it up yourself.
Well, speaking of being too easy, one of the homies in Discord, Rad, had found his characters got so buffed that every battle was just rolling over everyone.
And this was in 5 parsecs.
5 parsecs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should specify.
Yeah.
So he turned the difficulty up.
Yeah.
You know, made his enemies have a higher combat skill or whatever. So it was like making it harder.
Yeah.
Because you get, you know, at that point he had that much gear.
Yeah.
And that his models were that combat skill was that high.
Yeah.
It was like hitting on 3s or whatever, you know?
Just face rolling.
Yeah.
And I always was in the mindset that it's not my job, the player, to balance the game for them. Like if it's too hard, you made it too hard and it should be better. But because this is so narrative and RPG driven and it's made for you to tell your story,
Yeah.
you're going to find yourself instinctively doing that anyways.
Yeah.
You know? And you can't write a game like this with enough depth to make it easy to pick up and play, and also rewarding, and then also incredibly balanced every single game, every single experience.
As a player, you do have to take on those kind of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And which is expected though. Like, how can you can't have everything just given to you on a silver platter.
Absolutely.
You got to put in some work for yourself.
Yeah, if you're playing a war game against someone, yes, you want that experience to be balanced. But if you're playing something like this, you're becoming your own game master, your own dungeon master.
Yeah. Yep. So you described it in that many words. The adventure thing is very appealing to me. The way that 5 Leagues works is you start off with a map and a few settlements.
Yep.
And you have what's called the wilderness.
Awesome.
And the wilderness is basically places that you haven't explored yet.
Yeah.
So you can generate new areas, new zones, forests, ruins, cities, mountains, whatever you want.
You end up, I mean, I don't know this, and what you were saying to me is actually kind of new. I thought there was a system like that.
Yeah.
But you end up basically drawing yourself a map.
You do. It's like a fog of war. It's like you've just started a level in Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
And that little mini map is just a little...
Yep.
And everything else is grey.
It's enveloped in black.
Yeah.
Or grey.
Yep.
We're being attacked.
Yes, me lord.
Don't get us started.
Not Warcraft quotes again.
Yeah. We'll be here for an hour.
And it's a matter of you exploring it and discovering it, you know? So
That's very cool.
yeah.
So a lot of the our listeners particularly, I know, have played 5 parsecs from home.
Yes. Yep.
And what similarities, this has a lot, and which is actually like a big sigh of relief for me, because we're not learning an entirely
It's not a
new
whole new
game.
game.
There's a familiarity about it,
Yeah.
which is comforting.
It's good, and especially if we're considering covering both on the channel at the same time.
Yeah.
To go from one game to another game, which I know we already all do, whether we're playing Legion or Warhammer or Kill Team or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like another game to know. To have this being similar enough to Parsecs that we can go, oh yeah, okay, it's kind of like that, or straight away you'll know, all right, 5 Leagues has a better combat system, so I know that.
Yeah.
So and then you should remember it. So
Yeah.
It's gonna be handy.
Especially like during the turn, or the turn orders of any given turn, like tabletop combat look very similar.
Yeah.
So even just having that to know, all right, it goes this, then this, then this. I don't quite know how it works within those things.
Yeah.
You know, I'll flick to the rules, but you get that sort of overarching thing.
Yeah, you still have your fast and slow actions and reaction rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you start 5 Leagues by and probably the most fun for a lot of people, and the same in 5 parsecs, is rolling up your crew in Parsecs, Warband in 5 Leagues.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and they're quite similar in the way that you've got, I believe, it's a recommended team of 6.
Yeah, so in 5 Leagues, it's 4 heroes and 2 followers.
Yeah.
Followers are kind of like just hangers on, so they're like no one special really.
Yeah.
They might be like just some of them I had was a I can't remember what I rolled up, but it was like something wretch. And I'm like, deranged wretch. And I'm like,
right.
why would you let this guy hang around? Wouldn't you tell him to, get lost or something?
Oh, hello there. Hello there.
General. So like you've got your 4 heroes and your hangers on.
Yeah.
Your heroes acting the same as your crew in Parsecs with backgrounds and other tables you roll on and providing gear for the group.
Yep.
And then there's other guys that just leech off you.
Just kind of hang around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like the little plus ones that you can pick them at the start of every movie just based on the way they write the character. You're like, you are dying
They're
first or
basically,
second. Yeah.
They're basically eshés.
Yeah. The chaff.
Yeah.
Effectively chaff.
Yeah.
You throw them up the board and go, I don't want to bring you home with me.
Yeah.
That's probably why you're letting your deranged wretch hang out with you, because you're like,
hopefully
better they take an arrow than me.
That's right. Hopefully, stop asking me for a ciggy. And then,
Yeah. Well, they won't when they've got an arrow through their cheek.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've got a ciggy. I've got another place I can put a ciggy.
bruv. Yep.
Yeah, so you roll up your crew at the start, Warband in this. Like you mentioned, 4 heroes, and the heroes are geared up, so to speak.
Geared up, yep.
One of those heroes is your avatar.
Yeah, which is like the main hero.
Yeah, which is like you.
Yeah.
You're upon us.
It's you.
Yeah.
It's shrunk down to the tabletop size.
No, it's you.
It's you.
No, it's you.
Okay, it's me.
It's Churchy. Yeah.
Yes, which is an interesting thing which Parsecs didn't have.
No.
It was sort of like your crew was, I mean, you picked who your captain was, right?
I mean, yes, I did.
Yes, you did. But like, I feel like they didn't have anything extra from memory, right? We didn't have any extra roles or nothing. Yeah. So the avatar, I believe, has extra skills or abilities or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't quite remember. It's been a while since we rolled up our crew, but I think maybe the captain got an extra savvy.
Maybe. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But that is the biggest thing I have noticed, like a nice difference between the Parsecs crew creation and the 5 Leagues Warband creation is it feels like there's so much more depth just in a quick glance at the rules in the 5 Leagues Warband.
Before we started recording, we were flicking through the PDF which we've got in front of us, and we were just going through, like, for instance, one of the races is the Preen. You've got all these different different stats and different effects before you even get into your background effects. Yeah. So like the outburst thing, which is when they see one of their friends suffer a casualty, or they suffer a ranged attack. Yeah. They have next activation. They have to charge. Into melee combat
because they've become angry.
Because they're not happy about it. Yeah.
And it just already makes it feel so like they've got. All the characters have background options, which you do have in Parsecs as well, but it's kind of like it gives you something usually at the start.
Yeah, but you still have to roll a random table, which gives you your motivation, your background, and something else. And it was like, you're a religious from a tech world, and this is your main goal. Yeah. Or something like that.
Which is great. It wrote these amazing stories, which you can still do in 5 Leagues. And it gave you maybe like some starting equipment to sort of explain, to kind of tie in with what your character was.
From a tech world, so you have some gear or you have a high-tech weapon or something like that.
But once you threw down on turn 1, like, you were just basically the same as every other human.
Everyone, the playing field was level again.
Yeah. Whereas with this, like you mentioned, it's got the Preen has a heap of stuff, some background options, skill expertise, so they get +1 to all crafting tests. Yeah. So I didn't even know there's tests, but there's traveling tests, crafting tests. Yeah. I don't know anything about that, but that's already another level I feel like Parsecs didn't have. Yeah. The outburst thing you mentioned, so if they get angry. They're swift-footed, so they get +1 to their speed. They're slight, so they can't use higher ground to counterattack. All these things that actually make your race and your sort of your background and who you are play out every round on the tabletop. So I guess it gives the character the same background story and depth that Parsecs had, but it also layers that up with constant abilities and reminders. So I've loved that. The Preen that we mentioned, by the way, the like little bird people, which is really cool.
They're bird folk, which is there's a 15% chance to roll the Preen on a D100 thing, and I managed to roll 3
of your 6
of my 4.
Oh wow.
Because 2 are followers.
Right.
And I was just like
50-50.
I was like, I've got to re-roll one. I can't have 3 birds.
You definitely can. My entire roster is preen.
Really?
Well, I bought those dope 5-bird Bushido models.
Yep.
And I was like, well, there you go. I'm done.
Yep.
That's my thing. The preen bird-like humanoids seem to lack in a homeland of their own. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Tend to live scattered around the world, which makes sense. You know, they'd probably find them in little clumps.
Yeah,
If they're so scattered, when they find each other finally, it makes sense to me that they would stick together.
It's like when you're traveling and you see another Aussie.
Yeah, that's it. You stay far away from them.
Oh, absolutely. Because they're ruckus.
They are ruckus. I want to stay here. I don't want to get kicked out. While given a life to trade and craft, they are also possessed by infamously foul tempers.
Yep.
So there you go. Love trade, love craft, but damn, they're angry.
They get angry. Don't piss one of them off.
They're angry birds.
Angry.
You're welcome,
Wow,
everyone.
That's a 2012 reference.
You're welcome. So that's cool. And that's just preens. You know, there's a heap of... I actually thought the biggest problem for me getting into it earlier was I didn't know like what a crew looked like. I saw humans, elves, and dwarves. And I thought someone said that was it.
There's no dwarves in this. Well, they're available in expansion.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I don't believe elves are either. I think they're in expansion as well. But you've got like dusklings, which to me, like it says creatures of the shadows, but like, are they made of shadow? Are they like, what are they? Are they like imps or?
I think the picture looks pretty cool. I think
it does look very cool. So they're all grayed out though. It kind of gives you your own interpretation.
They're quite deliberately ambiguous.
Yeah,
you know,
yep.
what like a preen could just as likely be my little owl warriors that I got.
Yeah,
little owl samurais.
Yep.
Or they could be Kroot.
Or they could be Kroot. Yeah,
you know, anything avian. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was going to say the driven. There's humans, the Feyblood, a fairy, and elves.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's fairies and elves.
Yeah.
So that does have like a lot of wiggle room in and of itself.
I mean, are you talking Legolas or are you talking Tinkerbell?
Or both, or some twisted combo of the two.
Oh, that's horrible.
Is it Legolas with wings? Because that's okay. Or is it Tinkerbell with a bow and arrow? It's basically Cupid.
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, is it Cupid?
Ugh, not Cupid.
Is it Cupid? And I don't like it. I don't want to play it anymore.
That thought in all of our heads.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'd like to make a formal apology for the things I said earlier.
Not accepted. So we've been gearing up for this for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, we're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, I think so.
A few bits of terrain I think we're working on.
That's right. We need to paint more of our terrain, but we have been acquiring little bits and bobs and models. And
you've been 3D printing like an absolute machine.
Speaking of 3D printing,
anyone want one? They're for sale.
Anyone want one? They're for sale. Quite the opposite. I have now officially, as of today, purchased a resin printer.
Oh, you kept that? It's a secret from me.
It's done.
Yep.
It is done.
Nice.
So that is on its way.
What'd you get?
3D printer, a resin
cool.
one.
A resin one, nice.
Yeah, I got an Anycubic Photon M3. Oh, maybe it's not a Photon. M3.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to Lethal's, one of Lethal's printers.
Yes, from the Goblin's Forge.
From the Goblin's Forge. Yep. So I leaned on him heavily for advice.
Nice.
Thank you, Lethal.
Yep.
So Anycubic's been great with the other printers that I've got.
Yep.
So I thought, stick with what I know.
Why not?
Yeah, it's got a reasonable sized print bed.
Yep.
So I should be able to do little bits and bobs of some of the cool terrain, fantasy terrain. But mostly I just thought, models,
yep.
enemies,
Oh, yeah.
That's always the only problem with these games is, like, unless you're like us and super deep in hobby and you just got models coming out of you, and there's two of you, you know?
Yeah.
So we've got twice as many models as a normal person.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
As a normal human being.
Yeah.
If you were like, say, Churchy, and you wanted to pick up this game, you're like, okay, yeah, I could go out and buy like 5 people for my characters, but what do I use as my enemies?
And then you need to buy like, skeletons and zombies and giant spiders and a lot of generic fantasy enemies.
For sure. You know, and you could just go, all right, well, I'll buy skeletons, and then instead of rolling up random enemies, I'll just
play skeletons every time.
Have skeletons.
Which works. That's fine.
It does work, but that. 2 or 3 games in, you might be like, you know what, I want to see something else. So then you got and
then you can like use tokens or paper cutouts or something like that, but it's just not as immersive.
Yeah. So these are definitely games that lean more towards established wargamers with a big collection.
Yeah.
Which is great about it because it also means you can use whatever the heck you want.
That's true.
You just buy the rules.
Yeah.
It's a purely miniature by proxy kind of game.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But yeah, I wanted like us to roll up something one week.
Yeah.
Me print it and paint it that week.
Nice.
And then bring it the next, I thought that'd be very cool.
Hobby Homies guarantee.
Not a guarantee. Not a guarantee. But possible.
Possible. We'll see.
So yeah, I got excited about that, and there's some incredible fantasy miniatures that you would, you know, as non. I think that's the most enticing thing about this. Is that it's fantasy. And we rarely touch it.
We do. Yeah, we generally lean to the sci-fi aspect.
Yeah, I feel like we've said to each other many times how fantasy has the cooler miniatures and almost vibe at times, but the games in the sci-fi settings are just better.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have this that now, like, because we've got a collection of fantasy stuff.
We do. Yeah.
So now it's nice to have an excuse to do it. And I see so many cool minis.
Yeah.
Online or in stores. I'm like, that's sweet, but I was like, what would I use that for? This gives us something.
Even then, there's like the War Games Atlantic stuff. Like I've got some of their giant spiders, which comes with spider swarms. So that's them. Got some Frostgrave giant rats.
Yeah.
Got skeletons, mantic zombies. Like we've got a bunch of stuff that we can easily throw down with.
Yeah, exactly.
To start with, and then
the printer arrives and
then
it's all over.
3D
Hopefully,
printer goes brr.
Brr. Yeah. So that'll be dope.
Hell yeah.
So what do you reckon you're looking forward to most in 5 Leagues? Like, what enticed you into it originally when we started thinking we're going to play this in 2nd edition? I
feel like fantasy Parsecs.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my biggest catch. Like I was like, you know, 3rd edition Parsecs had just come out sort of when we got around it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, let's like, you know, MJ, and I'm pretty sure it was MJ in the Discord that got us onto it. And
For sure.
And then we just started loving it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, if there's a fantasy version, why not?
Yeah.
And like, you know, you've got to give more justice to 5 Leagues to not just be, you know, Parsec's little brother. Like
that's it.
There's so much more to it than that.
Yeah.
You know, I know, and we're going to make heaps of comparisons to Parsecs throughout this episode and
forever
and whatever we decide to do.
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah. But it is so much more than just Parsecs' cousin or something like this.
Yeah. We make the comparison because
it's relatable. It's the touchstone that we've got to go off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's what we know. And
this it's the same probably for our audience. You know, we know so many of them are Parsecs players and lovers.
Yeah.
And we encourage you, like, if you're like, because there was a moment where I was like, oh yeah, it's fantasy Parsecs. That's cool, but like I'd love to play Parsecs more.
Yeah.
So you know, maybe I won't get new models and paint up new stuff. I would just focus on Parsecs. But it's not fantasy Parsecs.
No.
It's like fantasy Parsecs plus.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like they took everything that they learned from that game.
Yes.
And just added more depth into this.
Yeah.
And it feels a little bit like Dark Souls from what I've heard of people complaining about how hard it is.
Yeah.
I bloody love that. I want a challenge. I want me to. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to be licking my wounds and trying to just scrap my brain and be so immersed into this thing, thinking, how on earth am I going to win this? I've just lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Half my crew is dead.
Dude, I don't want to spend 12 hours painting a model and then have them die first game. So
well,
you
too
can
bad,
kick Dark
bro.
Souls. I'll play Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
We'll be playing 2 different. Well, you might as well play as the enemy then.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
You'd be like, oh yeah, you're right, this is easy. You've killed everything. Yeah, it has a lot. Like you mentioned the combat system earlier. I've always loved Parsecs, nice, clean, easy combat.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like, that's it. It's like you roll 2 dice.
Easy.
Yeah.
It is. You're rolling.
It's a roll off.
Yeah, it really is. And like, and we haven't really looked into it, but from what I've read from the rulebook, they specifically state in there they took Parsecs' combat and they've turned it up to 11. They've taken inspiration from other games, and made it much more, because melee or brawling in Parsecs was sort of something that didn't happen really often. You didn't really want to get into brawl with anyone else. Yeah. But in 5 Leagues, you don't, like, not everyone's going to have a ranged weapon. Yeah. So you're going to have to.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Yeah.
I tried to get into it like a fair bit. Tried to get into melee, but it did feel kind of like samey. Yeah. In that I would be rolling and I would have a melee weapon, which gave me a +2 to my roll. Yeah. And I had 1 combat strength, so +3 in total. Yeah. And then I'd roll off against someone who would have this a close combat weapon and a combat skill of +1. Yeah. And so it's like, you know, we're just kind of trying to luck out here. Yep. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm trying to kind of like spam through the very clean PDF, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already see there's counterattacks.
Yeah.
It's more of an exchange. It says fight evasively. You select your tactic.
Yep. Defensively and aggressively, stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah, or you can fight furiously, and that has all different bonuses. Then you resolve the exchange, counterattack. You can push if your back's to the wall. Then there's the next exchange. There's combat bonuses. There's parrying. It's crazy. That's like 3 pages of melee rules.
That makes me feel like, well, I mean, I don't know. We haven't played it, but like maybe you pick your stance or your what the style you're fighting in.
Yeah.
And then resolve it with the enemy or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. Being like you can't really reveal it because you're playing a solo game.
Yeah. Yeah, it just looks like it keeps going through exchanges until somebody deaded, or maybe there's just a limited on 3, and then there's roll to overcome armor and stunned and all that kind of stuff. There's actually 5 or 6 pages. Yep, 5 pages of melee.
Yep.
Great.
Which is nuts because Parsecs would have been 1 paragraph.
Yeah.
So
roll off, add your things.
Yeah.
Be done.
Yeah.
Be doneed. So combat's cool. And you said you noticed that there was just like more tables to roll on as well.
Yeah, like Parsecs had a lot.
Yeah.
5 Leagues has a lot as well, but I feel like there was just more variety and you're rolling like D20s.
Yeah, nice.
Instead of like everything had to be either D100 or D10.
Yeah.
So it gave a lot more variation. I mean, some rolls still had 3 options, and it was like 1 to 9 this, 9 to 17 that, and then 18 to 20.
Sure.
So it was kind of like, okay, yeah, this could have been done on a D10 or whatever.
Or a
but
D6,
yeah.
Or a D3.
D3, yeah. But like, it was interesting,
Yeah.
And I feel like, like Parsecs, the only gripe with Parsecs was everything was like D100.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that were in that awkward, similar to what you described. They wanted to resolve maybe 11 or 12 items on a table.
Yep.
So it can't be done on a D10. And so the next answer was to like really break it into those broad categories on a D100.
Yeah.
So this is a D20, just gives them that little bit of nuance.
Yeah.
More tables, but smaller tables, but D20s.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
And so are all RPG players.
They're just, we've said this a million times, but they're just nice dice to roll.
Yeah.
They feel great.
They do feel... Oh, would you roll 3?
No.
Can I roll something?
13.
That was definitely a 3, dude. I rolled a 13.
Yeah,
wow,
that's
good
what I rolled.
predict. A draw, 50-50. Yeah. So if you can't tell, we're excited.
We are so excited. We are, I mean, don't want to say too much, but like we're really hoping to get more 5 Leagues content along with our 5
Battle
Parsecs
reports.
content. Battle reports.
We hope to give it the same love that we give and have given, will give, and continue to give to Parsecs.
Yeah.
Open up a channel on our Discord.
Yeah.
Roll out some content for it.
Yeah,
Do some
bloody
episodes on it.
Yeah.
But we also want to know, because we're so new to it.
Yeah.
It's so raw to us.
Yep.
We've flicked through the rule book. We've started building up our gangs and buying some stuff and finishing off some things to get ready. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Maybe you've already played it. What is your favorite thing? What do you like about it most? What rules do we really need to check because they're like either tricky or amazing?
Yep.
I want to know some cool stuff that they've added to this that's so completely different to Parsecs or the previous editions.
What's going to catch us out? Like, what are we going to stuff up, or where do we need to go?
Tell us anything.
Yeah.
We just want to know anything about this.
Yeah.
How do we do any good recommendations for like online map builders? That's something I was wondering.
Incarnate.
Incarnate.
Yeah. I've been playing around with that. There's a free version, limited, but still good. You can make battle maps, so it's like it's a small area. You put your grass down, your trees, your ruins, whatever.
Oh, sweet.
Or you can make region maps, so you can put like your little settlements in, which is perfect for where we need to go for 5 Leagues.
Yeah.
You put a couple of towns in, some wilderness, some mountains, some forests, stuff like that.
And then you add it as
you can add it as you go.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. So Incarnate, I think it's like $25 for a year or something like that. Which if you're playing a handful of games, it's got to pay for itself.
Easily.
Yeah.
And that's I didn't know there was. So is that expansion that you mentioned earlier, by the way, with the dwarves potentially.
Yeah.
Is that out yet? Is that released?
Oh, it might have been an FAQ or an errata or something.
Okay.
I distinctively remember Ivan posted something saying that, yes, there are no dwarves in here, because that was something that people were like, what do you mean there's no dwarves?
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
it's kind of like, it's a fantasy thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's always elves, humans, and dwarves.
Yeah.
And then the halflings are in here, which I only recently learned are basically hobbits.
Yeah.
And yeah, no dwarves.
No
so
dwarves. But he's added them at some
released
point.
a PDF. Something. Check out the Facebook group and Nordic Weasel Discord as well.
Yeah.
There's heaps of stuff going on in there. So
I see also there is these proficiency tests, which definitely feels like something that's not at all in Parsecs.
no, that's an RPG thing. That's a
Big time.
I love that. I love having to roll for stuff like that. So it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I can't wait.
And that's good because, like, I remember a big problem. Not a big problem. Like, we're comparing this game to Parsecs and saying how much, almost implying that it's better. That's not the truth. Like, it's just two different beasts.
Yeah.
You've got this one that has more depth to it. Some people might want a lightweight game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or they prefer that it's sci-fi and they want to put more of their attention into their gun mods and their equipment and that. But what I didn't like was how I had someone who was a trader in Parsecs that when they went to trade, it didn't mean anything.
They didn't get a bonus or a reroll or nothing.
Yeah. And so I
Just
would
meant you
always
started with extra credits or extra weapons or something.
exactly, which on turn 3, you know, didn't matter.
Nah, by turn 2, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, same for any, like, someone that had they were a punk or whatever, and then they went to do something that I was like, well, shouldn't they? Anyways, hopefully these proficiency tests are the answer to that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're proficient at something,
Yeah.
like the Preens are good at trading,
Yeah.
they've got an increased trading proficiency test.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's cool. I really like that. That kind of answers that question. It doesn't add heaps, and some people wouldn't care.
No.
They might even forego it and just be like, proficiency test, don't even care about that part of the game.
I feel
it's
like,
fine.
Yeah, I feel like some people, like, it's the pre-game and post-game are almost more important, if not just as important as the tabletop skirmish.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yep.
I did a video on how to roll up a crew for Parsecs, and one of the comments was like, I wanted to see you roll up everything else. And it was like, you want to watch me sit here and roll up fucking 5 more characters?
Yes.
It's like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like character creation in Parsecs was its own beast. And I think I made 4 or 5 crews before I landed on mine and went, all right, I should probably play this game.
Yeah. I did the same. I made a handful as well, maybe 3 or something like that. But
Yeah.
this is going to be the same thing, man. We've got so much more in here.
Yeah.
For our crews, we're going to make up a whole bunch.
This rule book, which blew me away, I wasn't expecting this, right? Because this is a rule book from an indie developer making a solo game. And I don't know why I expected anything less, but the rule book is 193 pages.
Oh, it's nuts.
And
It is nuts.
it feels like it's mostly rules.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's at 236 pages. Yeah, 236 pages.
Wow.
Which is actually, for a reference, more pages than the rules section of Games Workshop's 9th edition rulebook.
Which is probably like, what, 100 pages or 50
No,
pages?
it's like 203 or something.
Oh, really?
204.
Is that many pages? Okay.
It's a lot of pages.
There's a lot of pages, yeah.
In the rules section. But of course, that doesn't have their data sheets or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's neither here nor there.
No, it's not.
Just to let you know, there's a lot in here.
Yeah.
5 Parsecs for comparison was, off the top of my head, 188.
Yeah.
So
Good job remembering that.
thank you.
One thing I like about 5 Leagues, this is technology, isn't this amazing? For those listening, we are tapping a
iPad, something that's been around for a decade.
at least. But like you've got here your campaign tracking sheet, so you can mark all your locations, your friends known, which I feel like is their version of patrons.
Patrons, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, quests,
Your friends.
and notes, and I mean ours will probably say blank.
Yeah, I like all the notes section. Well, blank friends. Yeah. Our friends will say each other.
Churchy. Oh yeah,
Just Churchy.
Even Churchy question mark.
Yeah. It'll be like Churchy and then it's like crossed off.
Yeah.
We pissed him off somehow.
They're rewritten again.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
Yeah.
but like something like this, which I know 5 Parsecs hey, but like to be able to like track your locations and what you know without having to keep a map and stuff like that,
Yeah.
is going to be good. I mean, we're getting a map. We're going to print that sucker. We're going to have it up on the wall.
Absolutely. Behind
so good.
Absolutely. That map will be sweet. printed on big old A1 or whatever.
Yeah, massive.
A0. Yeah. Another cool thing is like this. They did this in Parsecs, and I've always wanted to do this. So we'll have to do it for 5 leagues instead. But each turn is a week.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if they directly mentioned that in Parsecs, but in this game they have.
Yeah,
they said
yeah.
every turn is a week in their time.
Yeah, right.
Which is really cool. It means I think the goal is, you play every week.
Yep.
Like once every week.
Yeah.
And so then it feels like you're actually tracking the same amount of time as past.
Yep.
I would love to do that. I almost would love to do a 5 leagues wider thing with like maybe some people from the Discord where we all play in the same universe and track the week. So it's like, hey, what did you guys do this week? Oh, this. We
could even be in the same region.
Yeah.
We just move between different towns.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It'd be sweet.
That'd be awesome.
And then like you could have a group chat where it feels like the time is passing the same. So it's like, hey, today my guys, my Warband did this.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's what happened in our world on this day.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost like a real-time RPG campaign thing.
It'd be even cool, like, I mean, you're starting to get very narrative and that, but like something that they do might affect our game.
That'd be amazing.
So if you want to get into this, which is happening, join our Discord.
No, it's happening now. So RPM is guaranteed. Join the Discord. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, oh man, so keen.
It'll be good. It'll be good. So watch this space in terms of future 5 leagues content.
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of. I mean, I was going to roll with my 5 burbs.
5 burbs.
My 5 preen.
Well, I mean,
only
if
4 can be
we
preen.
decide to do any
co-ops,
I'll
be bringing 3 burbs.
3 burbs.
Or 2 burbs and a follower.
2 burbs and a pleb.
Plebs, aka followers. Different species, like you mentioned, you rolled.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very, very small table in here where it has your followers, which is a D100 roll.
Okay.
Let me quickly use the power of technology to go too far.
You're scrolling instead of searching or whatever.
Oh, do you do that?
I don't know. My only downside on the PDF, by the way, buy this PDF.
Oh, yeah.
And play this game.
$30 on Wargame Vault.
Yeah. Is that how you get it?
Here's our followers.
My only qualm is I love my PDFs and I don't know anything. But I like to be able to press the thing in the index and have it take me to the section.
Yeah.
This doesn't do that.
Hyperlinks.
Yeah.
They still a thing?
Super links.
Yeah.
Super hyperlinks.
So like here, you've got,
I see.
You know, your 0 to 5 is an aspiring scholar. So it could easily...
Should we roll up our 2 followers for our co-op campaign right now?
Let's do it. You need these dice, not that one.
Oh, but this is D20.
Yeah, but you need a D100.
Oh, you've lied to us already. Okay, I'm going to roll these dice. Now, we need 2 of these.
The red dice is going to be the 10s.
Okay, sure. I'll roll this up, and it's a 66.
66, we are
Satan
looking
himself.
at a roving traveller, which is perfect for a burb.
Oh, yes.
Roving traveller.
It could definitely. I was thinking now that I know the followers are kind of more ambiguous, maybe I'll have 2 burbs.
Yep.
And just a roving follower. I'll find something else.
Sure.
I'll print something else.
Print something. Yeah.
Would you like to roll up your follower?
I would love to.
So
let's go.
Oh, it does give you some finishing touches. Oh no, that's afterwards. Yeah, you do your thing.
I rolled a 71.
Well, you also have a roving traveller. So
I mean,
2 roving.
Yeah. 2 roving travellers.
That's how we found them to start.
Yeah, they were both roving together.
Yeah. Maybe they're brothers or sisters or friends with benefits. But whatever they were together.
Yeah.
Each follower may be armed with either a standard weapon or staff. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
1 follower will wear light armor. The rest will wear no armor. Cool.
XD.
So 4 burbs and 2 traveling.
I'm re-rolling my burbs too.
Okay,
a new crew.
Roving travelers.
New crew.
New
Warband.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
So we'll get that out for you as quickly as possible. We've still got some work to do. But please jump in the Discord.
Yeah.
Keep us motivated. We'll make a channel very soon.
Yep.
And we'll start giving it the Parsecs treatment. Drop your turn reports, your battle reports.
Oh, man, when Parsecs was really blowing up, I loved seeing everyone's games.
Yeah.
Reading through everyone's play-by-plays.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
So good.
I think Rad even made like a website.
He did.
Yeah.
He absolutely did.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pinned in the 5 Parsecs
Perfect.
Channel. So if you want to go there, hit the pinned notes, you can see his little wix.
Yeah.
It's a wixie. And yeah, jump on that and read through his campaign. It's great.
Yeah.
And it gives you a feel for like the narrative power of this kind of 5X system.
Oh, yeah.
Ivan's done a terrific job of balancing. Like the tabletop battle is fun, fast, and chaotic at times, and so ebb and flowy.
Oh, isn't it? It's like 1 minute it's like, yeah, we got this. Next minute it's like,
We're doomed.
We are done.
Yeah.
We are done.
So he's balanced that with, and then the bookends of the start and end of turn, which just add the narrative flavor to it, and the ability to play with your friends, or even just play, like we mentioned earlier. Play and then have your friends talking about them playing makes you feel like you're almost in the same universe doing the same stuff.
Yeah, yep.
Like I imagined Rad and his crew were on the other side of the galaxy.
Yeah, doing something. Yep.
So
bloody oath.
We do love this, but this does not replace Parsecs.
No, it will
in our hearts.
sit along nicely next to it.
Yeah.
On our shelf of our games we are currently frothing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you are from Modiphius and listening to us and want to put your brand on us, because we've got it right here.
I mean, we'll wear a shirt.
Yeah. We'll have Modiphius here and Nordic Weasel here, and that's all we'll talk about on the podcast.
Exactly. We'll sell out real quick.
Yeah. We've already sold out. Enter supplier here.
Churchy, you can just crop that on there, right?
Yeah. We're wearing black for a reason. This is screen. We could screen print it. I'm just gonna write Nordic Weasel on here.
Yeah, there's a texture over there.
Yeah.
It's black though.
Oh.
Thank you so much, guys. We hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a bit of a loose one. This is just us going into how excited we are. If you haven't already.
Yeah, we're very hyped. We are very hyped.
We're so keen. Check out hobbyhomies.com for links to all the stuff, links to our Discord, which we've mentioned multiple times, where all this stuff's going to be happening. You can get our merch there, shirts, stickers, rangefinders, all kinds of stuff. Links to Patreon and all our other goodies as well. There's so many ways that you can support us, both financially and not financially, just by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment, joining the Discord, all that stuff, which is free to you, helps us in more ways than you know.
There's this secret hidden beast called the algorithm, and we're trying to slip into it.
The almighty algorithm.
So if you can click buttons, even the dislike button, we'll take it. We'll take it.
We've had a couple of those lately.
Leave us a negative review on Yelp.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Ugly Miniatures video has copped the most dislikes so far.
Good. It was garbage. I think I did 2 of them.
I think a lot of Magic players got a bit upset about it.
And rightly so. But in our defense, your miniature's garbage. So
not all of them. Not all of them.
No, there's a few.
Yeah.
They're bad.
A couple. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget... Patreon, we couldn't do this without you guys. As always, for as little as $2 a month, you can get early access to all that stuff. So a massive shout out to Burnsy, Whack, Final Dinosaur, MJ, Lethal, Moose, Penny, and Gridlock, and Battle Maps Jack.
We got Elko, Churchy, Rad, Ollie, Hockers, Aggro, Bravo14, and Big Roach. Thank you all so much for your continued support. There is no reason on God's green earth that you should give us your money, but you have, and we can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Over.
Peace.
Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One